We're live.
Well, hello, Joe.
Hello.
And hello, everybody watching this.
I shaved. I don't look as good shaved. I have a better beard than I have a face.
I think, well, a little scruff would probably add some manliness
It
to
hides
that
my chin.
face. And then you also, it's probably the circular, version of yourself. Maybe if you lost a few pounds, you,
You're not
you
wrong.
know.
I won't disagree with you.
I mean, I can envision you like fit as a fiddle, and
Like that
you
chiseled
know,
jaw.
yeah, like Chisel Joe would be pretty
Yeah. It's just
manly, probably.
it's too hard to work for that.
I
So
know it is, isn't it? Case
it's
in
a lot of
point,
work.
definitely something has eluded me.
Well, I like how this feels. Like I like being hair free on my face, but I
This is
can't
like
argue.
this is fat camo right here.
It really is. And I'm a little jealous, but it's like whatever. I'm fat. Well, I like to correct myself. I have fat. I'm not the fat.
Mm.
Look at that. That's a weird start to our video, but on the title
Yeah,
of the video, we have fat.
no, no.
Yep. Can
So I
confirm.
had kind of a sad, pathetic week.
Tell me about your week.
So I discovered something about things when you get things partially done. When you're starting to make progress in your life, it affects everything in your life. And it's a good thing and it's a, hard thing too at the same time. I got into it like a little bit of an argument with my wife. And I think it was because of everything that I've been doing lately. You know, you get to a point where it's like you see progress, you see, you're doing things, and then it makes you put this magnifying glass or shines the light on, rather, the rest of everything else that is part of your life. And so I think I was taking out like what I thought about, how I'm still working for people and all these things, and just got into an argument where I was kind of taking it out on her and wanting to change, everything in my life at the same time that I just thought was not as perfect as it could be.
Do you,
And
well, do you want to share what the fight was about, or
yeah, typical type of marriage stuff, probably, but just like not really.
okay? Yeah, no, you
But
don't have to share more than you're comfy.
I'll just let you, relationship crap and how, finances and everything that happens in a relationship, mostly
Mm-hmm.
finances, probably. Um, and, but it took a while. And it definitely interfered with that day because we were going to do stuff. I didn't even notice your text till a while. Um,
Yeah, we were gonna do the
KDP.
yep, the KDP. I was trying to think of the acronym.
Yeah. So, and in doing so, we kind of, me and my wife, we're fine. We never stay mad too long. Um, but I ended up spending, basically the whole day playing games with her after that, and we, you know, just spent the day together.
Yeah.
Um, but the whole week, I had, because of that argument that I got into, it was like I wanted to get away and find some time where I could just really just, contemplate all the aspects that were a part of my life that that I just needed to express about, or just ponder whether or not I wanted to change them. The same thing that I was basically having the argument about with my wife. What I didn't like about my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I never got a chance to do that because every night I made that mistake of playing Stardew Valley that one week. And
It's not a mistake.
that,
That's a great game.
well, it turned into creating a multiplayer game with me, my wife, my daughter, and my daughter's one of her best friends. So then it became like a standing thing. Every the moment I get off work till like way beyond when I should be going to bed, if I want to get up on time to do something before I work.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the week was me convincing myself, oh, I'm just gonna, stay up till this long, and I'm gonna go to bed on time, and I wake up plenty of time to do things. Into sometimes that would happen, but then I would still sleep in, like
Right.
not even normal amounts of sleep in. So I fought and then the last day I was like, I'm not gonna play Friday night, and it was like I just couldn't even though I took the time to actually get something done, I didn't want to. It's like I ended up watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, like 3 episodes last night with my family.
What made you do that instead of your, like? I assume you didn't get your goals done.
I mean, I worked on some things. I think it was because I got into a major snag, mostly with the art project. I'm trying to get backgrounds taken care of. I was researching like, okay, what to draw here, and I was starting to, and my brushes were a problem. And then I didn't know what the what your pancake would look like, and so I kept on like not knowing how detailed I should try to even attempt my backgrounds. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'd start with these, pathetic brushes that I didn't like. And I'm like, well, maybe this is okay. And then I'm like, but I don't know if it looks okay. And I don't even know if it's what I would want. And then what is he going to draw? Is it going to be some, you know, super detailed pancake? Is it going to be more cartoony? Is it going to be more SpongeBob-y? Is it going to be more, what is this thing going to look like? And so then my mind was like, oh, well, you don't know. And then that's inefficient. How can you possibly, what if it's looking completely stupid or completely wrong? Now you have to look at what this thing looks like in order to match the universes. And then it just turned into forget it.
I think there was a miscommunication. I didn't mean for you to draw a background of our pancake project, just a background in general, just to practice. Because just like, for me, it's about like making sure you have the idea of like perspective. Because perspective is going to be a big one. And then like, basically it's just making sure that you're comfortable with like 1 point and 2 point perspective and where we wanted to go with it.
Yeah. Then there's what the heck are you doing? You're going to suck at this. The doubt started rolling in.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
And I got no writing done. Because probably all the rest of we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So it was easier, I guess, to ignore, be defeated, and all of that than it was to
My question is, because now, like, week 3, you got to do this, so I'm gonna do it now.
no, go
Not
for
that I'm
it.
like trying to retaliate. Granted, I'm just like I
That's
because
serious. No, okay.
it's like it's we have to ask the hard questions.
That's right.
Do you feel like you bit off more than you could chew this week? Because I mean, drawing an entire background and writing might be a lot for 1 week.
I think it was probably too much for me this week. And
Because there's a lot to overcome with drawing your first background.
yeah, experiencing that for sure.
Because I didn't think about that on my end. I was like, he's going to draw a background and draw. Okay, cool. For me, or he's going to draw a background and write. To me, that's easy because I've done backgrounds before. But this is like a first time thing. So it's like there's a lot of steps that you've got to figure out. And I think
Yeah,
maybe
it's been like 30 years since I've really sat down and tried to draw something.
yeah.
Maybe
So
longer.
I think we underestimated like how much toll that was.
You know, and everything sounds so simple when you just say it. And then when you do it. And and I don't think that this is like going to be some kind of hard thing as time goes on. I just think in the infancy of just becoming somebody who is productive, it's you overestimate yourself and you underestimate the difficulty of just doing things is. And especially in this world we live in where there's so many entertaining and easy things, to just go do that are mindless almost. And there's a new game every other damn day, and I found myself looking, is Nightingale coming out? Is, all these, anything, it was like, but
to me, it sounds like you're avoiding it.
I was.
Because we didn't make it easy enough.
And maybe that is part of it.
Because for me, it's like, I want to make goals that are like so easy that like, okay, I want to go do this. Like, let's say I want to go play this game. Well, let me go ahead and get this done first because it's super easy.
Yeah, or impossible to fail. Like, after we're done, we're going to go and we're going to actually physically go and take care of some stuff. It's impossible to fail because that's what we're doing.
Right.
I think that the whole aspect of, when you have some small success and you want it so badly to just be in every aspect of your life, like what happened to me, I think you or at least I underestimate how deep the psychological aspects of all of this affect you, and how it really is a conundrum of the mind to go from just life as normal to trying to change your life in a meaningful and consistent manner that produces results. It's exciting having goals done, and it's there's the little dopamine hits and all of that, but every aspect of your life affects all the other aspects of your life, and I think the implications of all of that is almost another problem or another layer of problems that has to be dealt with as you go along, and sometimes that takes a little bit more time. Sometimes your brain just needs, or at least mine, just needs like, oh crap, problem. I can't solve it right now. Need time
Mm-hmm.
to separate yourself, to think, to actually be able to look back in time, see the problem as a problem, so then you can define it because you've felt everything about it. You know how it makes you feel. It's almost like the feelings help you define the problem.
Okay.
And you need time in order to do that,
To sort
that
out your feelings, basically.
evaluation. And now that I've defined what it feels like in all of that, I can now work on a solution, you
And I
know.
also it was a failure of breakdown for me too. I'm not going to completely take all the blame that you didn't draw a background,
I'm going to give you
because
all the blame, though. So
I also didn't give you the brush that I use.
throw it in the drive, I
Okay. Do
guess.
you know how to import brushes?
I'm pretty sure I'll find out.
Okay. It's pretty easy, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 4 brushes and like there's a chalk brush that I just use for everything.
Yeah. That would be great. Yeah, I'll check them out. Throw them in there, and I'll put it as my first thing of the week
Oh yeah, import the
to
brushes. I'll add it
to
as one of
find
my
a pen
goals.
that works. There we go. Download brushes off. What is it? Google Drive?
Yep.
Sounds good. That's an easy obtainable goal.
Oh
Oh, and
yeah.
then after that, it's import
There you go.
brushes into Photoshop. All right. Very nice. Good goals. Excellent. Um, yeah. So that was kind of like my week was like dealing with the
So
problem and analyzing it.
let's not completely skip over the rest of it. What goals did you have, and which ones did you accomplish?
Hmm. Well, I had a goal to try to draw that background. I had chosen like a scene from our Pancake. I
Mm-hmm.
was actually like trying to draw the bus scene, and so um, I decided on an angle, and I was starting to draw a brush, or draw a brush. I was starting to use a brush to draw the bus, and it looked like crap. And then I started picturing what you were drawing and like how it would sandwich in, and I'm like, oh, I didn't have a clear understanding of what you would draw, so I didn't know how bad my back would look against it. And then all the doubts started coming in, and then I just started maddening myself about the brushes, and I didn't know what kind of level of detail we were going for, and that all just spiraled into doubt and nothing. Then let's see. Um, on my list was writing, KDB agreement, which failed. Um, I had podcast written down, but I think that was just kind of like a, you know,
The side goal
thing.
type thing.
Patreon, but we kind of did all that.
Yeah, we did all the Patreon stuff.
And keyframe thoughts. I think that was more in line with what we were talking about earlier. That's what I had under my list of things to do, and I think one. I'm not even sure what I meant when I wrote keyframe thoughts. So I don't think I wrote out these things well enough
Yeah, more specific, like more specifics.
Yeah, it's one of the same problems that I had one of the first weeks we started this, not specific goals. And I think, when you have a little success and you go, oh, okay, I got this.
Mm-hmm.
Rules don't need to apply any longer. Easy mode, and then you fail because it is those rules, at least at this point, that
Yep.
seem to matter.
Nope, I totally get you. Okay. So essentially what the reason why we didn't get a goals accomplished on your end is there was a weird, like, it was just a weird week, with the week starting with like the fight, and then also with like vagueness of the drawing, or a vagueness of your goals, combined with starting a new scary goal and thinking that it's an easy attainable goal. So I think, okay, so I don't want to go into our goals for the next week until we go
Right.
through mine and stuff. So my goals were edit the video by Monday, which I did. Good job, me.
Nice.
KDP, we didn't get that one done. That's okay. Is that toothpaste on my mouth? Whatever. Draw other stuff. I did a lot of drawing this week. I was very happy about that. Patreon, I got the Patreon set up because I'm a cool boy. And then draw pancake sketches, which I did.
I'm really looking forward to seeing those.
Yeah, you ready to look at those? Because they're ready to be looked at. Okay.
I want to see them. Give me some kind of idea what I should be trying to obtain here. So I'm probably going to stare hard at them at first, because then I'm going to, like, in my mind, try to think about how I'm going to obtain some kind of level of detail that matches that. And if Pancake is a little too detailed or something, I might suggest dumbing it down just so that we can get a pancake done.
Right, no, for sure. Yeah, I'm looking for thoughts. I'm not looking for...
Okay. Yeah, because I have to remember what the goal of this whole pancake is. It's not to actually make a book that's worthy of doing something, because it's, I mean, honestly, the writing is not exciting enough to sell. But we want to actually obtain the product as fast as we can in a way that gets us a little... Oh!
We defeated James.
All right, I love it. Okay, great. Let me. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Put that picture, please, on the Google Drive.
Okay. Well, I have another option. We have two options.
Is that the He-Man sword?
Yes, it is.
I was
You
hoping
mentioned it
that
was
would
like
end
an
up.
80s cartoon.
I
or
know,
something.
and that's kind of what I wanted to. I was like, he's either going to use like the Thundercats blade or the He-Man sword.
For some reason, you picked He-Man.
Oh, I
And
did.
so
In my mind, it was He-Man. It was the He-Man sword. Excellent.
So we have some stuff to pick from. The textures on the back are like from my brush and will not be included in the final product. Like these like weird looking like burnt marks.
You actually have hands sprouting out of him, huh?
Right. Well, this is the hand version. I have another one.
Okay,
that doesn't have
okay.
hands.
All right. I'm ready
I
to
did
see the
include the
next.
rip so he could like have a little bit more mobility with his sword arm, because like this could
Mm,
separate from it.
I see. Okay. May I see the next picture?
This is more like fucking psycho one. He's got a bacon strip for a mouth too.
Okay, so that is how is that middle image?
So
Okay,
this
so
is a
that's
side
him
view.
from the side, like attacking from
Yeah, and
a
he's little
side
his
rip.
yeah, he's got his little like thing wrapped around it.
Okay, interesting. And do you have a frontal view of that?
Of him grabbing the sword? No.
Yeah, like
It's
that with
no.
his
No, it'd basically just be this.
psycho face. Why does that remind me of what is that game? Never mind. Anyway, wow, okay. That's interesting. I like the middle view. Like, I mean, it's I like I like what you did there. All right, go ahead and let me see the. Did you
And
have that
this
third image down there? What is that?
I have a third. You see the third image. You're tasting it. You're hungry
I
for it.
am.
So this is something I've been thinking about, and it's not exactly perfect. I just kind of wanted to like sketch out the idea, but the idea is that like this is one of the backgrounds that we like see.
Mhm.
What I want the crow more head on than like to the side.
Oh, okay, okay, that's a crow. Got it.
Um, but I want it to be this
Got
like
it.
ominous thing in the background, and then all of a sudden we pan out to it. Like maybe when he's like,
Oh, okay. So we see that, and then we pan out and see the whole him sitting there on the branch looking at whatever or
mhm.
whatnot. Okay. That you is that the one of the chalk brushes that you used there? Is that what?
Oh yeah, this is the chalk brush. Both
I
of these were made
like
with
the
the chalk
pink
brush.
color that you're using as the.
I know it makes me happy.
I might
This
have
one was
to.
used with a different brush, and I
I
have
had
grown to
like a
not like it.
red and a blue that I was using, but I kind of like the pinkish, purplish
Yep.
thing going on. Yeah, I think that brush is kind of nice too. Just
Yeah. This is the brush I'd recommend. It's just a basic. So there's an artist called KNKL, Keenan Lafferty, and he's got a
okay.
bunch of like four brushes. He's like, you only need really four brushes. You need a hard, a soft, an inking one, and a chalk. And he's
Mm.
like, here they are.
Oh,
And
very
that's all I ever
nice.
use is those four. I tried
Well, I'll
out
check it
using a
out.
different one for this one, but I didn't like it.
His
There's some things
facial
that probably could have
expression
done it.
there,
Yeah.
so
So like
serious.
I liked the idea that so okay. This one's my favorite because and we could also make his feet just as like almost non-existent as his hands. I just kind of went with the like the bigger feet. But
Mm.
I like this one as like the like a cold samurai type feel where he's just like the dark and broody. This
Mm.
one's like you fucked my shit, I'm gonna fuck yours. And he just goes crazy. He's like the psychopath.
Right. I definitely like the first one here. Um, I don't know if we can do some kind of hybrid with the arm being a piece where he wraps around, and yet at the same time, I'm not sure if he should have legs or because I mean, at least in one of the scenes we talked, or I wrote that he was like basically like kind of like squishing his way across the floor. Um, I don't know if there's a way for him to look like he's just walking with his like
Yeah, like kind
nubs,
of like this one would,
basically like
where it's
like.
that's the reason I made this one flatter on the bottom
Oh,
mostly so that he
that's
could.
not just a face. That's the entire.
Yeah, no, that's his entire body.
My goodness, that's
So he's
terrifying.
yeah, just flat on the bottom so that way he can
Maybe
squish around.
we can make it so that it looks like the feet are really just the bottom of a pancake, kind of like folded, like squished in reality, and then just maybe elongate. You know what I mean? So it just looks like it's pancake that's on the ground, maybe a tear right in the center. It looks like legs, but not really possible to do any actual movement with, um, potentially. But it really doesn't matter. I mean,
Yeah.
it is just a pancake, and it is just a process for us to figure out. I would say make it however you want to make him,
I
and
love this guy so much. I love his derpy little arms. Like, so to me, like, I want there to be such a juxtaposition between the character, like the character's personality, and the actual
mhm.
character. I love that he has tiny little arms, but he's super broody. And he's got these little weird, tiny, weird legs. And he's just like samurai-esque.
Okay, let's just go with it. Let's just make that who he is, and who cares about what the story says? We'll just know we don't care.
We can always like,
Doesn't matter. I mean, I thought about editing it to make it better, and I'm like, no, dude, it
yeah.
is exactly what it is. Let's just leave it, and let's just make it. Draw this thing up, figure out how KDP works, and have that thing on our shelf to laugh at with how bad it is,
I'm
and go with
excited.
that.
So yeah. Um I did think about my goals this week where the longer term stuff I ended up doing it on Friday and I started planning more stuff to do on Fridays when I have like the entire day off.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did that
So
come up in your mind from the last conversation we had, or?
it's possible, but whatever the case may be, like I was like, okay, well, I'll just get this done on Friday because this is like something more long term, and I wanted to like sit down and actually do it. And like I just didn't feel like I had a lot of time during the week because there's been a lot of like fatigue at my job for me, where it's like
Mm,
if I'm not like if I'm working on something and I don't know, I just didn't want to do anything because I felt fatigued at work.
no,
I
I
didn't want
hear
to do
you.
anything. I was like, oh,
My whole thing was that I wanted you to entertain the thought of doing work on one of your days off, because the dream is eventually they'll all be days off.
mm-hmm.
So you have to have some experience on how you're going to interject work into the life where you have every day to do that. And if you always got all your things done just in the middle of the other stuff, that you would not have the mental experience of actually how to make your day into the life you want it to be, if that all makes sense.
Right.
But
It's basically like if I'm doing stuff on my days off, that means I can prove that I can basically work when I need to once I don't have work.
right. Well, I'm glad you succeeded in that. Or did you
Yeah.
feel like you succeeded?
Oh yeah, I absolutely succeeded. And it was easy.
Nice.
I took care of myself in the morning time. I did some like just I had some sakura, some Chinese food. and then and then I watched some anime, and then I was like, okay, I feel like I've rested up. I feel like I've
Nice.
taken care of myself, and then I just went to
I've
work.
been
I had no
annoyed at
problem.
anime lately.
Oh yeah, which ones?
The two animes we've been watching are My Hero Academia and um, Vinland Saga.
I
Have
have
you
not
heard
seen
of
that.
that?
I've heard of it. I haven't
Okay.
seen it.
Well, we're caught up with both of them, and both of them are going through the same problems. like, and it's annoying me so badly. Like, I can't even. I mean, I'm still enjoying them, but it's not giving me what I want,
Did you
you
do you ever
know?
finish Into Your Eternity,
Um,
or did you ever even start it?
which, what was the main character there?
Um, Something that swaps forms.
Oh, I might have. I know I got done with at least the first season.
It
I
had
can't
like
remember if I did
it.
or not.
Okay,
I'll have to find out. I'll look into it.
I
Um,
love that anime. And another really good one that I can't recommend enough is ReZero. ReZero is really good. And then it's about like there's a lot of anime where it's just like you get put into a different world. I really like those. Um, that's a really good one. And then another one is Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. It's like it's like a D&D campaign, kind of. It's got that feel to it, but it's like it's really good. It's like I'd want to make a D&D campaign like it because it's so
if you
cool.
ever get a chance, can you just throw like make a text file and throw it on the drive of anime that you recommend?
Okay, yeah.
Cool. I'll check it out. Um, so I don't know. Oh yeah, you had the food. Enjoyed yourself. What else?
I
How
basically
was your
just took care
weekend?
of myself in the morning, just like because I knew there was gonna be work to do, and that's totally fine. But I um gave myself some break time, and then I've also helped realize. Okay, so I've been having issues at work where it's like I feel so unbelievably drained, and my boss has suggested that um, she suggested that I basically get away from my computer area on my breaks and lunch, and then come back after those, so that way I don't feel like I'm in the same place.
You know what I've been doing lately, and I really enjoy on my breaks anyway. Not lunches. Lunches I eat and I watch an episode of something with my family. But on my breaks, I've started to just basically I try not to watch anything like YouTube or anything on my phone at all. I just sit it down, put on a timer for how long I got, and I lie down on my bed and I just basically have a little bit of a moment of just no input, no words, no
Mm-hmm.
nothing, and just help myself de-stress and just think about whatever I think about. And sometimes I'll fall asleep. Sometimes I won't, But just that moment of really a break
Mm-hmm.
where you just don't have to do anything and think anything and hear anybody talking
Mm-hmm.
is has been really nice in the
Yeah,
middle.
I'm gonna have to try some more of that out because once I started like taking a break from the computer, I did realize that I felt a lot less fatigued coming back. So it's something I'm gonna try to like lean into a little bit more during my work week is like just getting away from this area, which is sad because like as a like as a person, this is my comfy place. Like it has
Mine
been
too.
since I've been 16 years old.
Mm,
Like in front of my computer, this is my home.
right. Yeah. No, I totally understand that. I had a plan for this weekend, and it's been a plan for a long time, even before we started this, but I've never been able to accomplish it. And that's to basically like separate myself from my normal life, either go and take a walk, or just get away and just try to help, just think about my life, basically define what I want it to be, and all those things that we kind of all have done in these weeks, but just just to do something that radically changes the flow of what I'm doing.
I think
Something to put a
our like
vacation in
midnight
between of
things
it. Huh?
are like
Yeah.
those things are like really good for that, I feel.
Yeah, that's potentially something that maybe I need. Um, but more pointedly, looking inward into scrutinizing my schedule, the way I do things, how much time I'm spending on video games and entertainment, and kind of slowly letting go of some of those things, and taking more control of my time. Kind of like that kind of a thought is basically what I would like to do, but I don't know how accomplishable that really is.
Well, yeah, and I
Uh,
think there's a certain level of like understanding with that too. It's like you have to realize that you're not a creation machine. There's input and output. And so, for me at least, it's about making sure I do my output before I do my input. Like, do I have stuff I need to get done? Yes. Okay. When am I going to get that done? And then stick to that basically. Like yesterday I was like, okay, well I could go play a game and do all this stuff, but no, first I want to make sure I get this sketch done. But I knew personally, I was like, a sketch of a pancake is really easy. I told myself that's easy. I can do a circle and then just play with it. And that's what I did. And so like because it was easy, it was easy for me to do. So like I don't know. Feel like there's something there where it's like if we can make it easy, and then you can go do the things that make you happy, then you get. That's just a win-win for everybody. So I think maybe we avoid things that are too hard because our brain is big and dumb, and it's like hard things are hard. We don't do those. So like, how can you make your steps easy? Is I guess the thing I'm getting at.
hmm.
Or like being okay with letting yourself be both a consumer and a creator.
Yeah, there has to be that balance, because it's not like I can just be like, no,
Yeah.
I will not do anything fun with any of you for the rest of the year or my
Right.
life. It's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I have to find the balance between the two. And you're right. The clear, definable, small goals are obviously, since it was has something has become a pattern that we've
For both of us.
discussed. It needs to happen. Um,
Yeah. For me,
and then
like I
realizing
only
you're not
wrote
going,
down. Go ahead.
then realizing you're not going to just create the Mona Lisa in a week. You have
No.
to
I mean,
be, you know, you have to be able to deal with small chunks forward.
yep. I mean, do we want to go back to episode 1? Where I go through my notebooks and show you all the shit I started out with. And now, like, I'm creating much, much better things.
I think it's like I'm trying to figure out the brushes. I'm trying to learn really how to manipulate images like an artist on Photoshop, which I'm not, honestly, I just don't yet understand how to manipulate it the way that I want to.
I can teach you that.
Yeah, I would love to have a little bit of a training. Like, oh, okay, well, I want to pan out right now. I want to make my picture bigger, or I want to transform this one section, or how do I do that comfortably? Um, you know, in this whole thing while
Mm-hmm.
I'm drawing. I want to get to that point where it's just like, oh, okay, I have my shortcuts going on, and I understand what's you know, and I don't yet. And
Mm-hmm.
so all of those things, it's like I want to have already done that so that I can just work on drawing, but yet at the same time the brushes suck and I don't like those. And it's like all those things are compounded with the deadline.
Right.
Oh, you need to have done this. Oh, okay, but even though I got 47 questions that I feel like I need to answer before I can even do that effectively, my
Yeah.
brain just like,
Yeah, I know. It seizes up and it's like, this is an insurmountable problem. Fuck this. I'm going to go do something else. Like, you couldn't get your brain to do that. I wouldn't be able to get my brain to do that. There's too many like what ifs and like it's too big of a chunk basically. Because it's not just draw a background, it's figure out your brushes, figure out the program, figure out this, figure out that, and then you can draw a background, which in and of itself is its own like creation of a problem. Like, let's do perspective, let's do what objects, let's do what scene. Like there's a whole lot of like small, basically it's just a huge chunk of like you broke off a chunk. Like a huge nugget. And
yeah, I just wrote down another goal of just looking up transforms for artists on Photoshop. Like how do they do that like effectively? Can I find any tutorials on how people manipulate their art, their paper basically, and tweak their sketches potentially? It's like, oh, I've drawn this arm here, but I want to free
oh,
transform and
I
make
can
it
show you how
move,
to
and
do that. It's really easy.
you know uh, and are there any kind of special techniques or anything that's associated with that? Is it just using the transform tool, or is there some other weird
there's a
things people
little
do?
tricky trick that you can use too. Which
Okay, that's what my brain's like, dude. There's got to be an easy way to do this, otherwise, why are people even doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I
so
try very hard to make it so that way, because I try not to use any like Photoshop like tools and stuff, like any of the tricky tricks, because I want to be able to transfer my drawing from Photoshop to real life. Like I want there to be an easy transform. But with backgrounds, I would imagine you're definitely gonna want to be able to like rotate things and all that type of stuff. And that's just
yeah, I would
me.
imagine, and even zoom and all that stuff. But yeah,
I'm not going to
so
shame anybody else for using those tools because they're awesome tools and they should be used. I'm just telling you my reason I don't do them. And it's just
okay,
a
boomer.
weird me thing. Yeah, I'm booming. I'm
Um,
booming hard.
no, I mean, I hear you totally. Um, I am from the mindset also where I just want to fully understand and be able to translate that in real, and then there's yeah, but there are all these tools that things just do things for you now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been hard for me to just go and surrender to those tools aren't going to go away. They're only going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And people are using them.
Oh yeah.
And so I see some weird thing on the screen.
Let's ignore that.
Did you get rid of it, or what is that?
There
Cool.
we go. I had this background blur that was
And
bugging me.
so, yeah, I would like to know how to draw right, but at the same time, if something's going to save me like an hour worth of time out of a 2 hour sketch, I think I'll probably learn to use it.
Yeah.
Um, Especially if, because this first project isn't the end all be all for me.
No.
I want to be able to pump out stuff eventually. I want to be to the point where I got my time and I'm maybe working on multiple projects at the same time, and I have the luxury to do that, and I need to be pretty efficient at being able to, pull out this drawer, work on this part. Okay, I'm drawing something here. Okay, well, I'm done drawing on something that for now I want to, write, for this book here, this novel or whatever now. And I just have this nice stream of work and, comfortably in my mind. In order to do that, I need to be efficient. So I want to
No, for
save as
sure.
much
And
time as possible.
like again, I am not shaming anybody for anything. It's just a me thing. Like seriously, it's not like I don't think anybody any less of anybody using these tools. I'm not like, oh, how shameful. No, absolutely use the tools. I'm just a fucking weirdo. And it's not like I don't use tools. Like I use stuff too, but I try to minimize my use of it.
Mm.
Just so that way I can have that.
I think I'll be more into the maximizing the tools kind of
Which will
way
be
of doing it.
interesting.
Yeah, it will be. Seeing how that plays out.
Yeah. Okay. And then I wanted to talk about the Patreon. Do we want to go over the Patreon stuff? Like the tiers and why we did it?
Okay. I mean,
Did you not want to?
I don't. Do we have anything else to talk about?
Oh, I don't know.
If not, go for it.
KP, draw other stuff. I did a bunch of drawing this weekend or this week, and I was very happy with that. I'm trying to do
Beyond Pancake?
Beyond Pancake.
Oh.
And then
What did you draw?
Stuff that's not safe to show on YouTube.
Oh. Okay. Well, congrats.
Thanks. I was really happy. I'm getting better and it feels good. It feels good to like feel the progress and like figuring out a system that works for me to create. Like how I can create effectively. Because I want it to be easy for me to go from idea to sketch to line art to coloring to final touches to release. I want each step to be easy. And it's not there yet, but I'm figuring out what makes it easier for me.
I've been watching, tutorials. I did do that this week.
Mm-hmm.
Watching some people draw and seeing how they do things. There's a lot of exploring and changing. I would guess I was always under the assumption that everybody was just like, oh, they just had this secret power that I will never be able to access. It just shows them a damn scene in their head, and they just
Right.
make it so number one, But no, they're deleting things and adding things and getting rid of things and moving things and manipulating things and guessing and forming these things as they go along. And that was kind of interesting to see because then I realized, oh, okay, this is not a perfection thing that I cannot obtain. This is a time thing and a imagination thing and a intellectual thought process that they go through. Like, oh, what would these people be doing in this environment? Maybe there's a light here because they want to see, I am that kind of thing. It's just like general thought and logic. And I thought, oh, well, okay, this is not beyond my capabilities if I actually try.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I completely agree with that. you see these like incredible pieces, and you're like, wow, that's great. But it's like,
Beyond
th-
me.
yeah, but then you watch them make it, and you're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Like,
okay,
oh. Hmm.
I see how they did
and
that.
and they're like they get rid of things that I thought were good, and then they add things. I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I guess that's all right. And then, and then at the end, the piece looks great, and you're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, okay, maybe you didn't agree with one particular element or something, but altogether, it's a beautiful piece. And I'm not that beautiful piece is going to be what anybody says when they look at my crap,
And that's
but
okay. Like,
it will be definitely the word piece in there.
it's like, what was it, episode one? You have to be bad to get good or something. Like, just gotta lean into that. Like, it's okay to be bad. Like, and there's like a certain level of like your like a person's ego that you feel like you have to protect with being bad at stuff. And that's like I think a big reason why people don't actually try new things or stick to new things is because they're not instantly good at them. And I think it's specifically if like you value yourself for your intelligence, to look like you suck at something makes you feel like less of a person.
Right.
And so it's like it's hard for people who value their intelligence or value intelligence to be bad at stuff because it makes you look like an idiot. And that is
Mm,
like the exact opposite of what we base our self-worth on.
mm. No, I can see how that is true. Um, yeah, it's worth contemplating on. It's worth examining self, against. And there's probably a lot of aspects of that in myself that I should pay attention to.
I
Um,
had the same thing for a long time. I until I was 27 and I was like, okay, well, here we go. Like until then it was like I was too afraid to try anything to get because like all during bless you
thank you.
all during school I was like the smart kid and did all that and it's like I mean it's like I base
And nobody
my
dared make
self-worth.
fun of you or beat you up.
Oh no, I was beat up a lot. Okay, so in high school, not in high
What?
school, I was beat up a lot in not high school, but like middle school and elementary school.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I was
Well, who
like,
wasn't, right? I mean,
right, I
except
was the
those.
goody two shoes. I was like, I'm telling, I was that kid.
Mm. Oh, you were that. I see.
Yeah, and I got a lot of flack for it, and
Oh,
righteously, I would have beaten myself up too. So, um, I had these warped sense of values. These like black and white, everything's either good or bad. There's no in between. Um, but basically, like I had spent my entire childhood and basically assuming that I'm really smart, and that's where I based a lot of my self worth. And so like it was hard for me to try new things and be bad at them because as soon as like someone's like, "Oh, that's bad," I'm like, "Oh, I'm not doing that again because it makes me look like an idiot." Um,
mm,
and so like I had to relearn. Like that's where that it's okay to be like in order to get good at something you have to be bad at it. That's like such a mantra that I repeat so much because it reminds me, hey, it's okay to suck. That's practicing. That's normal. And it's something I have to repeat to myself so I don't get in that mode of like, okay, well I suck at this. I'm an idiot. Let's not do this.
yeah, I'll have to steal from that a little bit, most likely, as I go along. I don't have as much. I probably haven't done as many things in the last few years as you have. Like just experimented with learning new things. I've probably just kept to the comfortable,
I'm a
gaming
slut
and
for
things
learning.
like that. Um, but I do feel like I want to change my weekly production here. I do need to decide how I'm going to do that. Whether I need to do more on the weekend to get things done, or whether I need to be more consistent with how I'm going to do my week. That's what I need to figure out with family and all of that taken into that account.
I think if we can make your goals easier, it might be easier to get them done like before family time.
You
Or
know, that is a good point. Um, if they're small enough and defined enough, no matter if it's a weekday or a weekend, I should be able to find time in between my life to get those things done.
exactly.
So I do like that. I did write specific goals with a big
Okay.
bullet point.
Yeah, let's
I'll
start.
show you my blurry page now.
Whoa! It's gone.
Oh!
Ah! It swallowed
And
you up.
I'm going to
Oh, let me show you a
hang
drawing
that
I
up or
did. Some
something.
drawings I did. Let me show you
Oh,
one
yes.
specifically. You can see them. Okay. So we've got this lady.
Oh.
They're not all great,
Oh.
but they're
The
drawings
first
I made.
one, I feel like belongs in Borderlands or something in some way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like it gives me a vibe. Um, it's good. Yeah, I would love to be able to draw faces at some point, but I doubt I ever will.
Practice. You could.
I think I'll just stick to
It's a bug, James. It's like, okay,
what
well, I
I'm.
made this background. Now I want to put people in it. I want to put people.
It may be. It might grow on me and all of that. I don't know.
That's what
Who
happened for
knows?
me.
Once I find that
was-
brush.
I mean, if you remember, I started with pixel art, and then I wanted to do regular art.
Oh, that's true. You're right. It began with pixels.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun,
It's
dun,
like a
dun.
book title.
It began with a pixel.
Well,
Dun, dun.
anyway.
Okay, so goals for the week. I have get brushes for James. I'm gonna add edit video by Monday night. Actually, probably by Sunday night, because I have nothing planned tomorrow.
We should add bank to it just to have something to be able to Chekarinsky off for today.
And then I'm going to add, this is more of a personal goal, so it's not super important if I do it. I want to draw other stuff. And then so I have D&D next week, so I'm going to be a little busy on Friday because I have to get basically prepared for that. But I can still do stuff on Friday, obviously. Just trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. Saturday's the 4th, yeah. So I don't have any goals specifically towards the project.
Okay. Well, I have kind of a goal, or I could give you maybe.
Yeah.
And that's take the story and maybe draw thumbnails of the angles that you think would be best to display for each section so that I can have kind of an idea of what kind of background angles I'm kind of looking for each one.
Mm-hmm.
That would help me out quite a bit to have an understanding of how you see the character. I mean, even if it was just a picture of the character in whatever kind of basic sketch form they would be oriented.
Mm-hmm.
That would give me an understanding. You could even put as the background just a blur of some kind. But if I know how relatively large you want the character to be in that scene, or the
Okay.
spot or the rotation, that would give me a greater understanding of, maybe even a horizon line would be really nice. So just like a horizon line
Mm-hmm.
and the character in whatever size and orientation you kind of see, that would do a lot for me to be able to match a background to it.
Okay.
I mean, I know that's a kind of a big task, but it could be
Yeah.
something
So
you can maybe work on over time.
I did 3 thumbnails for the story. That's what I put down. Um, so that way it's a very easy obtainable goal for me. Because 3
Mhm.
thumbnails don't take very long, and so it's
Okay.
like I can do that.
Okay. Sounds good. And
What kind of goals do you have?
download brushes, import brushes, draw with new brushes, transform.
Whoa, go back to that. I heard that third one. I heard that. Draw with the brushes.
Yeah, it
Fuck
doesn't
that
sound
goal.
very
Fuck that goal.
doesn't sound very specific,
No,
does
it
it?
does not.
Okay, how do I break that into something more specific?
Um, I would say doodle for 30 minutes with the new brushes. It doesn't have to be anything, just doodle. And that'll get you comfortable with the brush.
Okay. All right. I have
Okay.
transforms for artists on Photoshop, so look for some videos on that and
Mm-hmm.
watch them. See if I can. Then it's try to mimic and get some practice with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then so basically there's the drawing practice, there's the brushes, there's getting familiar with Photoshop as an artist, and learning perspectives and all those. There's
Yeah,
a few
so
things I got to do as I approach
yeah.
this.
I would say doing like just that stuff you have, I think is plenty. I feel like that might even be an overwhelming amount.
I have the bank, and I also have write for 30 minutes.
Okay.
Because I need to do that as well, at least for 30 minutes.
Okay. Read through me your goals again.
Um, First one should be very easy. Download brushes, so that doesn't even almost count as a goal. Import
It's still a goal.
brushes,
Still a goal.
that's import brushes would be the second one. Doodle for 30 minutes with the brushes. Watch a tutorial on transforms for artists. Um, get practice with the transform methods. Bank and write for 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. I think those are very doable goals.
I think so.
Yeah.
I have written down more boxes for writing because I feel like if I get a 30-minute chunk down, there's a chance that I could do either multiples of that or continue. So I'm not going to, limit myself to only 30 minutes if I can reproduce more. But yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to write down a different goal too, which is go for a walk and contemplate. That was kind of like the thing I've been wanting to do. maybe if we meet up today, if we're not doing anything, maybe we can go on a walk. Maybe we just
Yeah. I mean,
do
I don't have
something.
anything. I don't have anything planned until 8 p.m. tonight. So
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Um, okay. Well, great. As for the Patreon thing, do we want to discuss that then?
yeah.
All
So
right.
we have what, 5 different tiers?
You tell me. What did you write down?
Let me get my Patreon thing. Okay. So we have a $1 tier. Yeah, see all of them. So we have one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, we have 5 tiers. Okay. So for the $1 tier, um, you get access to every single post, and this is just, you really need access to the posts, and you don't really have the money to be throwing away at us. And we totally get it. We're not here to like limit your access to our content. We just want to be able to, like, yeah. So basically, that's there. So $1 a month, you get access to all the posts. Um, and then there's the $10 tier, which is literally the exact same as the $1 one, but you're like, hey, I have extra money to give, and I really like your guys' content, and I want to support that. That's what that's for. So it's the exact same as the $1 tier. So if, like, for example, you were mentioning, James, that you guys have a band that you Patreon for, but when times are tough, you still want to support, so you roll back to like the $1 tier or whatever.
Hmm.
That's the idea behind it. And then we actually have some actual things that we do. Like, we have these next ones are more about like productivity and accountability on your end. So for the $50 tier, you will get a bi-weekly 30 minutes with us to go over your project, your goals, and then we'll make sure that we ask the questions that are hard questions that will push you towards completing your goals. And then, so that's the bi-weekly for $50 a month. So you get two, on average, about two sessions every week or every month. Yeah, on average. And then it could end up sometimes being 3, depending on how the months go, but potato, tomato. And then for the $100 tier, that's a 30-minute weekly check-in. So that way if you have like if you're really going hard at your project and you really need that like weekly accountability, that's a good tier for that. And it's expensive, so like you better be ready, obviously. But it's really good for accountability and getting your stuff basically completed. And then for a ridiculous amount of money, if you're just like, you know what? I really like you guys. And you guys are super handsome. Well, you know. There's the $300 tier. And not only does that get you the weekly check-in for 30 minutes, but also you get to be part of a monthly 2-hour procrastination video with us, where we play some sort of game with you for 2 hours, and we put it up on our website. And last but not least, every Patreon page has a custom donation. So if you want to donate to us, that'd be a great place to do it. And any amount is more than welcome, but definitely not required. We're doing this to help people, and we do not want you to be giving out anything that you can't give. Please do not. And then
Yeah, another good thing about just having the accountability is not only have I seen the differences making with me, but not everybody has a person that they've known for many, many years who they can talk to that's on the same kind of page with productivity and is really excited about that or has experience trying to do these things. So it might be easier to talk to people about, especially if you're, you know, unsure of the things you're doing, to have somebody who's not attached to your life, who doesn't know your circle of friends or family, who's basically an anonymous entity that still cares about what you're doing and wants to help you, but is not going to be as much of a emotional liability to you. If like you, oh, I'm talking to my friend, but then my friend's also my, you know, my sister's husband, or, you know, you don't have to worry about any of those interrelationships and stuff. So it's kind of nice having that. And well, I'm really excited to help people with their
Yeah.
projects.
I mean, we've seen the power that it is. I mean, not this is not like an ad for a Patreon. I'm just telling like how it is. I have seen, both of us have seen the power of the accountability that comes with a group setting like this, where we have a set time that we have to meet in and talk about our goals and what we've done. Like, we haven't succeeded every week, but we've succeeded a lot. We've gone a lot farther than we ever have before.
Totally. Yeah, I'm excited about those. And so hopefully people will find
Yeah, I mean, once we get to a goal of what would it take, like 4,000 a month, we'd be able to just do this full time, essentially.
hmm.
I mean, because that's going to substitute my income from Amazon.
Well, yeah, that's the Patreon thing. That would
Yep.
be that would be great. Um, Looking forward to even any kind of scenario going on, and just listening to what your guys' problems are and trying my best to help out with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because at heart, you know, we're people that want people to succeed. So
Yeah.
that's going to be something to look forward to. So yeah, check us out there if it's something that you think you could benefit from.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. And I don't. Again, I don't want to like you guys to think this is an important part of our our
We're
goals.
going to
Like,
continue doing what we do here.
yeah,
I mean, it's not
yeah,
going to impact us, and we're not going to, you know, pull any punches like, oh, no, all the good stuff's on the
yeah.
Patreon.
No, screw that. All the
Uh,
good stuff is right here. The Patreon is just extra stuff, and if you want to support us financially, which is not required, but we do very much appreciate it because ideally, like, we would not want to have to work at the jobs we're working at and actually focus more on the YouTube and focus on our projects, which I mean, it's just more YouTube content. But with a full time job, that's just a lot.
so,
All right.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm excited about it. Like, it's all set up and there will be a link in the doobly doo. Is that how they say it? Doodly doo? Doobly doo? I don't know.
that is a scientific term, yes.
Is it? Okay.
So, you know, write down any topics or anything you guys want us to talk about, maybe think about, things like that. Um, Always like discussing new ways of getting things done or new ways to de-stress, which is, you know, part of that procrastination element. Like and subscribe and do all of that if you'd like
Smash
to
that
hear
like
more of
button.
us. And
if you like this video, make sure to tell James to smash that like button in the comments, because he loves that phrase. It brings him unadulterated joy. He becomes giddy like a young child who's opening presents on Christmas Day.
Definitely. I don't hate that at all.
All right, well, I think that's it for us. I mean, we'll probably have an addendum after this. We typically do. But
It's possible.
all right. Well,
See you
thank
guys
for
next
watching,
week.
and I'll see you guys next week. What's your outro, James?
I just said that.
No, you said something different. What'd you say?
See you guys next week.
You stole mine. Why are you stealing mine? James?
Guys, have a good
What's your
week.
There we go. Bye!